Hello,
Hello,
and welcome to Kids Paranormal with me, Dad.
I'm Emma.
And today, Emma wants to talk about something paranormal that she might have already heard of. What do you want to talk about today, Emma?
I'm a SkinWalker.
A skinwalker. And where have you heard about skinwalkers before?
India.
India, the Indian folklore. So, I watch a program called The Curse of Skinwalker Ranch. And that's a big ranch in America where lots of freaky things happen. So there's meant to be aliens and ghosts and cows being abducted. There's loads going on Skinwalker Ranch. But the name Skinwalker comes from the Navajo Nation, and they're Indians. Now, before America was the way it is now, the English travelled over and colonised the American island. So that was full of Native Americans, and they've got lots of law. Now, one of them, the Navajos. Have you heard of the Navajos before?
It's like a horse.
A horse? No, so the Navajo are a Indian tribe, and they have a big belief in skinwalkers. Now, do you know what a skinwalker is?
It's like a reindeer.
Like a reindeer. So a skinwalker is a witch or a medical doctor that's steeped in Navajo folklore that can change into any kind of animal that they want. Now, have you heard of something like that before?
No.
What about what happens on a full moon? What can you get on a full moon?
Some aliens.
Maybe, but I was thinking more of a shape-shifting animal.
Like what?
Oh,
A werewolf.
a werewolf. So skinwalkers are a lot like werewolves. They can, I don't know, the folklore, the myth and legends behind skinwalkers is so old. The Navajos won't tell anyone who is not a Navajo about where they come from. Now, legend believes that if you were to murder someone, right, you can then, because that's the most evil act you can do, you can then become this evil shapeshifter, and you never do anything good. So if you hear noises and you see a person but then you see an animal, what might that be?
It might be a skinwalker.
So what kind of animals do you think they could take on?
A werewolf.
So a wolf. You said it before, a deer.
A deer.
There's a legend of a goat man. So maybe they could goat. Goat.
Okay.
So maybe they could take on the shape of a goat. And I've got some stories about skinwalkers, because there isn't much folklore. Emma has asked me to look into this, but there isn't much folklore behind it. But there is some stories from Native American people, Indians, from the Navajo Nation. Would you like to hear some?
Yeah.
Yeah. This might get creepy. Do you want to pick a teddy to cuddle?
Yeah.
What teddy do you want to cuddle? Be quick.
This one.
Okay, you're going with Baby Yoda is going to keep Emma safe. Now, another word for the name Skinwalker, I've got the stories on the iPad, is a Dushi. And this story is called Dushi is Watching Me. My grandmother on my mother's side has always been very superstitious. For lack of a better word, she's not religious, but she believes in all things paranormal. Her mother was a full-blooded Navajo and her dad was Irish. I'm not doing an Irish accent, could be racist. Either way, she'd never been east of Montana in America, and she grew up in Nevada. One year, when I was in grade school, we went to visit her. Most of our visits were pretty uneventful, typical boring stuff, except she always kept her curtains closed. We always have our curtains closed, don't we?
Yeah, because we don't want no one to watch us.
We don't want people to watch us, because people can see in, can't they?
Yeah.
But she didn't have her curtains closed for that reason. She had her curtains closed, and whenever she would look out the window and someone would say, "What you doing?" the grandma would say, "Dushi is watching me." She believed a skinwalker was watching her. This went on for nearly a year. until a few days before they were due to leave. My grandmother and my then baby brother, he's now 19, were all at her house, and they heard her shout, "George! Get away from that creature! It's not safe!" Obviously, being from Nevada, they thought it was a crocodile or a rattlesnake or maybe a scorpion, so they all ran outside, and the grandmother was in the yard, and there was a large, black, Great Dane-sized dog. It was staring at the grandmother with intensity it had never seen before. It looked up at us and gave a little whew. If I don't remember if it moved fast or not, but it had really deep yellow eyes. My mother asked my grandmother what it was, and she just said, "Yenl Dushi has found me." And they had to move. She moved a year later. So she believed that there was a skinwalker out together and that the skinwalker found her. That's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
This next one is called "They Ran Away on Their Back Legs." This is a bit like we learnt about black dogs last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And this is a lot of dog stories, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe they should just kick it. So this happened about 12 years ago. My family owns a farm in the heart of an Indian reservation. Now that's the Native Americans, they're known as Indians. One winter I was home for Christmas in the farm where my parents were away Christmas shopping, and as I went home all the cows were freaking out, "Moo! Moo!" And I knew it had to be the wild dogs because they're rampant in the area, so there was lots of wild dogs near this farm. So he threw on some boots and he grabbed a shotgun and he went outside into the field. It was the perfect scenario for a horror movie. It was a full moon. What do you say on full moons?
Ow.
Oh! Werewolves. And there was just a little break through the clouds just to light up all the snow. And I ran out in the middle of the field just in time to see two dogs that were standing up facing each other and fighting. I think perfect 2 for 1. So I pumped a shell of the shotgun into the dogs. But then they stopped, looked over, and then they froze. And the person telling the story froze. And every ghost story about skinwalkers and all the other native legends that I grew up flooded my mind. And the dogs walked away on their back legs like they were humans. That's how they walked away. That's scary, isn't it? What would you do if you seen a dog walking on its back legs?
I would quickly run away in case it would run after me.
Run after you. Now I'm going to show you a picture of the skinwalkers. I'll put a different one up that isn't so scary for the kids. How scary is that?
So scary.
Look at Emma's little face. So scary. So scary.
It has horns and blood.
Horns and blood and oh, it's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
If you ever see a reindeer what looks like a skinwalker, you should better run.
You better run. So if you see a big deer that doesn't look quite right, what should you do?
Run.
Run away. Because we are putting ourselves in danger, Emma. Do you know why?
Because it's in any country.
Yeah, so it's originally in America with the Navajos, but saying the name Skinwalker can cause a skinwalker to come after you. Oh no. So should we be super careful tonight?
Yes.
Tell the people watching, don't say the word skinwalker.
Because you might get killed.
You might. Ah!
Hey.
I really enjoyed that. Sorry, baby. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Now, okay, tell one more story before we finish.
Yeah?
This is called "It Was Neither Fully Animal Nor Fully Human."
So that means one human, one half reindeer.
Yeah, animal. Yeah. You're loving the reindeer aspect, aren't you?
Yeah, because I love reindeers.
You do love reindeers. So, this is a more recent story. In 2004, near Gallup, New Mexico, I had my first and only encounter with a skinwalker. Before I used to say, I'll believe it when I say it. Well, I'm a believer now. And what I saw was not fully human, nor fully animal. I was moving and just completed the cleaning and was with my 10-year-old son. We'd called it a night and we were heading over to our new place. As we walked out the front door, I saw a figure move from behind my neighbour's cat to a nearby tree that stood between our apartments. It didn't have red glowing eyes like the big dog, snarling teeth or a rotten smell, but it did move quickly. But not quick enough to avoid the light from a nearby lamppost or porch lights. It didn't look at me or come towards me. It moved fast as if trying not to be seen. I was 15 feet of it and I didn't look back to fully inspect it, but what I saw was wolf-like animal that sort of resembled Beauty and the Beast. I wonder if Gaston was lighting it up. Be our guest, be our guest. Not just not cartoonish. It had brown fur. It completely covered it. It was like a pelt. Was a very large wolf. Pelts its fur. Its fur was like a big large wolf. It cowered beneath the tree as we got into our vehicle. When we got in, I asked my son, "Did you see that?" Thankfully, he hadn't. My brother-in-law insisted it wasn't a skinwalker, because if I'd have seen it, to this day I can picture what it looked like now. They exist, and I pray I never see one again.
He's closing his eyes when he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to look. So that's it. That's the legend and the story of the skinwalkers from the Navajo Nation. What did you think?
It was pretty good, but it was a bit scary because sometimes dogs, sometimes they're not normal, sometimes they're weak. And I watched this YouTube channel and there's there's 3 little ghosts and I was saying there was a ghost in the room.
A ghost in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we will do ghost stories, but
Yeah.
we're going to do that in a couple of weeks for what's coming up.
Halloween.
Halloween, we'll tell some ghost stories. But we need some other paranormal monsters, creatures, ghost-specific ghost stories to investigate, to read about, to look up, for me to teach you about. What's the best way people can tell us what to look for?
To like and subscribe. There's going to be 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
And 1 thumb down if you didn't like it.
Don't put the thumb down. Don't put the thumb down. Why do you want them to put the thumb down? Don't put a thumb. You're grounded.
No.
The best way to let us know what you want us to watch is to leave a comment. There's lots. There's in the northeast we've got a thing called the Lambton Worm. There's a song about that. You've got the Kelpies up in Scotland. You've got black cats. If you know any urban legends, anything you want us to read about, learn about, and then tell you a story about, let us know in the comments, yeah?
Yeah. And if you didn't know, Baby Yoda's pointing down the scroll down so you can like and subscribe.
You really want them to like and subscribe, don't you? Everyone, thank you so much for watching Kids Paranormal. I've been Am.
And I'll be Emma.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.